Jay's definitely.
Jay helped you?
Yeah.
How did he
As a
help you?
competitor.
Explain it.
Yeah, because he never was someone that you communicate with that you're like friends with the person. But I always respected him because he was never an actual competitor in actual fact. He was someone who was a competitor through perception.
Jay-Z is setting Diddy up.
How close was Diddy and Jay-Z? They was close enough that they wasn't playing basketball, they wasn't playing baseball, they wasn't playing football, and they wasn't playing hockey or soccer for Diddy to come on stage, pat him on his and then make the statement to people in the world that can't nobody call me Sean but Jay-Z.
And B was, one time she jumped off of the ledge, came running over because she thought me and Jay had issues, and I was like, what the? And I was like, did she really just jump down and run over here like that?
Beyoncé jumped off a ledge.
Yeah, what happened? It was in the Cosmopolitan, huh?
She really a superhero.
She jumped down and no, she was like, this what? Like that Bonnie and Clyde for real? You try this or what, boy? I'm here.
Word.
She down like at me. I said,
was Solange with her?
She looked at me like.
A new storm is brewing, blending old rumors, recent controversies, and long-buried claims, with 50 Cent at the center, a figure known for challenging untouchable power in the entertainment world. This time, his focus stretches beyond a single mogul, turning toward major pop culture icons like Jay-Z, Beyoncé, and Oprah Winfrey, names long surrounded by speculation but rarely confronted head-on. Tensions escalated when 50 hinted at unseen material connected to the same elite network under scrutiny, signaling that his documentary might just be the beginning. Then came the phrase that set social media on fire, "You're next." Fans immediately linked it to Jay-Z and Beyoncé, questioning the timing and intent given their history within powerful inner circles. As debate reignited, attention shifted to how closely these figures have been intertwined over the years through business, influence, and shared networks, raising the question of whether long-protected relationships are finally being re-examined as old material resurfaces and unanswered questions refuse to fade.
These were private conversations, and that he and Diddy could talk openly, and Mark could talk to Diddy not just as a client, but as a person, and tried to guide him in a time leading up to his arrest. And unbeknownst to Mark Agnifilo, Diddy has got this guy recording the conversation as he's sitting there saying, "You are screwing this up. You are messing up this case. We're losing." And knowing that that's on tape. And it's almost like he's performing for the camera and not telling Mark what's going on. And the really enraging part about it is that Mark Agnifilo won this case for Diddy with legal strategy. It wasn't just an accident that this jury that had heard all of this in the news before the trial voted not guilty on all the serious charges. It was Mark Agnifilo that did that. Yet Diddy secretly records this guy and embarrasses him. And yeah, you could say, well, Diddy never expected that it would end up being broadcast somewhere else. Well, okay, but Diddy was planning on using it, or he wouldn't have had it recorded in the first place. So it's just really, really unfair. And I know that in a way this sounds crazy, that I'm getting so upset about Diddy, and yet there's video of Diddy beating Cassie. Well, that's horrendous, but that doesn't mean you can't look at something else as well. And I just think, as a lawyer, I just think this is just so outrageous that he would do something like this, and not even understanding what Agnifilo's legal theory was. Because I will tell you that when we did our first documentary on Diddy, which was 8 months before the trial, Mark Agnifilo said to me on camera that he is going to tell this jury that this was a successful black man that prosecutors were trying to take down because they couldn't get into his bank accounts because they were clean, and he couldn't deal with they couldn't deal with taxes because he wasn't committing tax fraud. So they go into his bedroom. And that's what Mark Agnifilo said 8 months before. And he goes into the trial and he essentially wins that argument. Whether you believe it or not, a jury that sat through the whole thing, they believed it. And ultimately they convicted him on this BS Mann Act thing. So Diddy won that case. And one of the reasons he won the case is something that Agnifilo got criticized for. That when he did the documentary with me, he was making a joke about the baby oil. Remember, he said, oh, well, you know, I didn't know he bought in bulk. He must have bought 1,000 bottles at Costco. And a lot of people just slammed him for that and said, how dare you? You're being disrespectful. The baby oil is the smoking gun in this case. Agnifilo knew all along that the baby oil was Diddy's best defense, because when Agnifilo got before that jury in closing arguments, he looked at them and he said, well, the feds came in with their armor and artillery and guns. And what did they do? They got 1,000 bottles of baby oil off the streets. Ooh, he said, the streets are safer now. And the jury laughed. And that laugh told Agnifilo he should keep going on that. And that the trial itself was absurd because the baby oil.
Fans also revisited 50 Cent's past claims that Jay-Z quietly protected powerful entertainment circles, reinforcing his long-standing view that elite figures often shield one another behind closed doors. This time, the tension feels more intense because 50 has already shown he's willing to put everything on record, releasing a globally watched documentary that brought private matters into the public eye. So when he said, "You're next," people took notice. Understanding the weight of that warning requires looking at their history, a relationship dating back to the early 2000s, competitive from the start, shaped by industry friction, public lyrical shots, and personal rivalry. While Jay-Z evolved into a reserved power broker, quietly expanding influence through brands, partnerships, and elite connections, 50 Cent forged a different path as a vocal disruptor. Building his empire through media, business, and direct confrontation. They embody opposing philosophies of power, one operating through silence, the other through pressure, and that contrast is exactly why, when 50 speaks out, both the industry and the public stop and listen.
Seems like 50 Cent has set his sights on someone new after the Diddy Netflix documentary. If you aren't aware, 50 Cent has been getting insane feedback from the Netflix documentary he made on Diddy. Sean Combs' The Reckoning is what it's called, and it's #1 all over Netflix, beating even Stranger Things. Diddy himself has responded to it, saying the stories are false, of course, denying everything, and even trying to do a cease and desist on the Netflix documentary. And after this Diddy documentary, a lot of people have been wondering who's the next person that deserves to get exposed. And Jay-Z is the one that a lot of people are pointing their finger at. And the reason why Jay-Z's been getting a lot of this type of backlash is because Jay-Z was really close to Diddy. At one point, Diddy was even calling him his brother, and that Jay-Z's the only one that can call him his real name, Sean. That maybe there's something on Jay-Z's side that has been going on behind the scenes. Now, there hasn't been any solid proof yet, but Nicki Minaj has been going at Jay-Z for quite some time, talking about Jay-Z is manipulative and he steals, and he's been pushing a narrative and that Roc Nation has control and power over a lot of things. And I can kind of understand where she's coming from to a certain extent. We got to remember when Jay-Z went up on the Grammy stage and said Beyoncé never won Album of the Year and complained about that, literally the following year, Beyoncé wins Album of the Year. Which is just something like, if that doesn't show you that there is some power going on there, that there is something behind the scenes that Jay-Z controls, it's clear as day that it's all politics on who wins Grammys, you know, who gets the better light and things. So that kind of opened my eyes, you know, as to Roc Nation's power and how they manipulate things in the media. I'll never forget Jay-Z would get this like special treatment all the time when it comes to the media. I mean, Hot 97, when they interviewed Jay-Z, they literally rolled out a red carpet. They never did that for any other artist. So Jay-Z's always had this kind of special treatment when it came to things. But now the question is Jay-Z involved in crazier things? I mean, there's been a lot of speculation in a lot of different ways, and people are pointing their attention towards 50 Cent wanting him to do a Jay-Z documentary. And it looks like he might actually do it, because on Instagram he posted a drawing of Jay-Z that kind of makes fun of his looks. And he posted that photo and he said this in the caption: "Please stop sending me stuff like this. I'm not going to post it." Basically making a joke, because obviously he posted it on his social media. But, and here's the interesting but in this, is someone commented on the post and the comment got liked by 50 Cent. And this is the comment. It's from Dom KMDA. I hope I pronounced that right. Dom Kanmada. He commented saying, "My only question, he's next, isn't he?" And 50 ended up liking that comment. And here's the thing. I actually saw this on Twitter and X, whatever, Twitter X, whatever you want to call it. And I wanted to confirm, is this real? Because a lot of people Photoshop these type of things just to create drama and create this speculation. So I actually DM'd the guy himself and I showed him the photo and I asked him, "Hey, is this a real photo? Did 50 like your comment?" He said, "Hey, yes, he did." And I was like, perfect. Thank you for confirming. Thought it was Photoshopped. I will appreciate the response. And he said, "I was surprised as well. Didn't see that coming." So shout out to him for, responding to my DM and confirming that, the comment actually got liked by 50, because, a lot of people Photoshop and spread narratives. So me being the proper journalist, or whatever you want to call me, news reporter, I, wanted to go get to the source and see if it was actually real. There's also something that's very interesting that went over a lot of people's heads, and that's the documentary coming out on December 2nd. That Diddy documentary coming out on that date. Literally 2 days later, you have Jay-Z's birthday, December 4th, which to me sends a subliminal message to Jay-Z that you're next. So that's crazy. That just, to me, shows that 50 is potentially gonna work on something going at Jay-Z, and he might get Nicki Minaj involved, because Nicki Minaj has a huge issue with Jay-Z with a lot of things, and I don't even know the full details of that because she's gone at Jay-Z for quite.
Over the years, Jay-Z has continued navigating circles of immense influence, connecting with powerful figures across entertainment, media, and business. Whenever 50 Cent sensed something he believed was being quietly buried, he often responded with sarcasm or coded commentary, but never a direct warning until now. This moment feels different because 50 has hinted that he possesses material that could directly impact the Carters, and fans know that when he claims to have evidence, it usually surfaces. That implication alone sparked intense online debate around Jay-Z and Beyoncé, which soon expanded to include Oprah Winfrey. Her name resurfaced due to 50's long-standing critiques of how she wields her influence, accusing her of selective narratives, uneven pressure, and questionable media priorities, explaining why, as scrutiny intensifies, Oprah is now being mentioned alongside the entertainment industry's most powerful figures.
Oprah, Epstein, he was running with that whole crew. They want to know how we're going to do it. How the public is going to take him. Is the public going to let him back in? And the public is not. The public is already canceling him. I don't believe the industry has canceled him yet. All those people who went to those Diddy parties, not one of them had came out and denounced what he has done. I haven't heard one of them. I have not heard one person denounce, "Well, man, let God handle it. Get the hell out of here. Get out of here with that. If that was your daughter, would you let God handle it?" All those people, they ain't denounced him. They ain't definitely, they can't come forward and say, "Yo, I support them," because it would mess up their brand. It would mess up their brand. Jay-Z, we the only one could call each other Sean. Jay is the only one could call me Sean. I'm the only one could call him Sean. Get the hell out of here. If that ain't no fun boy stuff. But you ain't had not one person, brother, not one person sit there, denounce what he did.
But the story runs even deeper, as long-standing criticism of Oprah Winfrey has resurfaced amid renewed industry debate. Over the years, several prominent Black entertainers have publicly shared concerns about how they were treated in high-profile interviews or business dealings, describing moments where they felt misrepresented, misunderstood, or undervalued, perspectives that 50 Cent has openly echoed. Additional scrutiny has also revisited past controversies tied to Oprah's international initiatives, which, despite investigations and clarifications, left lingering questions in the public discourse. While more extreme online theories have mostly been dismissed, the broader conversation continues to shape public perception. With 50 Cent already challenging one powerful figure through a globally watched documentary, fans are now speculating that other influential names could face similar attention, especially following his suggestion that future revelations may involve the least expected individuals. In entertainment, influence rarely exists in isolation. The careers of Oprah, Jay-Z, Beyoncé, and Diddy have repeatedly intersected through interviews, events, philanthropy, and public endorsements, underscoring the tightly woven elite networks that are now increasingly under scrutiny.
Beyoncé didn't want to speak and does not speak to Brandy. And the truth of the matter is that she go back there with Monica and Kelly, and there go Patti LaBelle, and then there goes Solange, all right? And there's a reason why Solange is around as well. Because if you guys don't know, for a while, Solange and Beyoncé actually were not on speaking terms, but they're back talking now, they're back cool, and basically Solange is around to keep Beyoncé spiritually protected. Solange is the spiritual protector of that family. Don't get it twisted. Mama Tina is powerful. Solange is the most powerful list. You better ask some damn body. All right. Now, the reason why Beyonce ain't came to speak to Brandy, baby, is because Beyonce does not talk to anyone who used to sleep with Jay-Z. Okay. Whether you guys know it or not, and I have to say allegedly, right? Jay-Z and Brandy used to talk back in the day. And by back in the day, I mean like late 90s type stuff, right? Brandy always kept Jay-Z on the low back in the day because, quite honestly, he was too ugly to be out in public with. I'm just keeping it real. To claim him publicly, he was too ugly back in the day. Now, when you try to search up pictures of Jay-Z and Brandy, you will find... Hold up, let me see. Hold up. Let me see, because I thought I had a picture of them two. Brandy and Jay-Z. Now this would have been from let's see, Beyonce, Jay-Z, Brandy and Jay-Z. Okay, there we go. Now this picture of them was in 2002. All right, and this was I think was at one of her album release parties, if I'm not mistaken. This was a year after Moesha rap, because Moesha went off air in 2001. Yes, he was dealing with Beyonce at the time as well, and Blue Cantrell. He was, let me tell you, Jay-Z was laying it low and spreading it wide. Jay-Z was one of those dudes in the industry that, you know, you messed around with, he piped you down, but before he was really him, you did not claim him publicly because he was just simply too ugly. It was what it was. But Jay-Z was in love with Brandy then. He's not in love with her now, but he still has love and feelings towards her. He's one of those people that feels like once he done had you and once he done loved you, he always feels like he has like possession over you. Jay-Z is one of those kind of men, baby. I don't know if they told you. Jay-Z is extremely jealous, extremely controlling, and extremely possessive. That's another reason why. Hold up. Where'd the picture go? Wait a minute. Where'd the picture go? That's another reason why Beyonce up here. Wait. Anyway, y'all get the point. That's another reason why Beyonce, over the years, a lot of the music that she's made, it's always been with him. A lot of the remixes, it's always been with him or somebody that he approves of her to work with. Okay. Jay-Z was so damn controlling, he didn't even want her father, talking about Matthew Knowles now, he didn't want her father managing her anymore, and he stepped in. And if y'all notice, when Jay-Z stepped in as Beyonce's manager, the music changed, everything changed, and the money started to get effed up. But that's another story for another day. We're not getting on that right now. We're sticking with Brandy and Jay-Z right now. So they started messing around on the low in the 90s. Even to the early 2000s, they were still messing around. I'm not exactly sure which year the relationship officially ended, but just know that Jay-Z was just basically good for, that was what he gave. He gave big, I don't know no other way to put it, but he was like, For the ladies that's watching, you know, like if you ever dealt with like a tall, ugly with big pipe, you went to him to get piped down, but you would not like ever like claim him like that because he was just super ugly. It was what it was. And before he really blew up, didn't nobody want to be seen with him like that. It is what it is. And quite frankly, Jay-Z dated a lot of your favorite female stars from back in the day, but they would not.
Diddy and Jay-Z have maintained a long-standing professional relationship, collaborating on music, appearing together at major events, and moving within the same elite luxury circles. This has fueled the belief that these top-tier networks exchange influence, access, and information behind the scenes. It's precisely this kind of tightly connected system that 50 Cent suggests is now under pressure. Especially after Ray J's public remarks, which claimed that prominent figures linked to Diddy were growing uneasy about what might surface next. He hinted that well-known names were quietly putting distance between themselves and the spotlight, intensifying online speculation. In these discussions, Jay-Z and Beyoncé frequently come up. Not as targets of accusations, but as central figures within the same environments, from award shows to exclusive gatherings, investment ventures, and Hollywood power layers. Their visibility ensures they remain part of the conversation, reinforcing the idea that when scrutiny hits one corner of the elite, the ripple is felt throughout the entire network.
He signed his contract. The big one was with Beyonce. When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies. Now those trophies came rolling in, buddy. He started getting Grammys left and right, man. I mean, look, if you look at his career,
You're gonna let him say that? Jay was getting Grammys.
He had one.
Exactly.
He had one.
And he ain't show up.
He has like 20 now. He had like 18 since he's been down. Look, he had one, bro. Hard Knock Life.
You're not wrong.
He was one. He got some shit. He's like drinking. His pictures with him like, he thinks the cup.
Wait a minute. So you're saying the success is derived from the marriage?
I've absolutely been treated differently.
The accolades.
Because he's no longer viewed as what, like a street or gangster rapper. Now he's viewed as a businessman, entrepreneur, family man.
And the biggest ones because of the position Beyonce's.
Oh, wow.
Right? You were connected to the biggest.
Jay got it for the music. Jay got it for the music.
You didn't sing.
He deserved those.
I'm sitting there, he was like this, like Black excellence. They're sitting there like, yeah. It's a billionaire brunch.
Oh,
Like,
I hate you, man.
Unaware of anything going on here. This is the one time I'm gonna be with you this year. Yeah. Come on, bro.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
He's just looking at his watch during the whole Rock Nation, bro. Like, is it 3:30?
Yeah, it's almost time to get out. Yo, I feel like I'm normal again. Get me out of here.
Oh wow! So that's the deal he signed, huh?
Yeah, that's the deal. Like, the other ones didn't count as much as that one did.
Oh, yeah, before I forget this, we talked about Jay. Proximity to Diddy. You don't think he knew anything? He's seemingly around Diddy a lot.
No, that was a real suburb question.
I know, right? Proximity.
Hold on.
Proximity. That's the SAT hit parade word. I learned
Proximity,
that.
do you think he knew all of the shit that was going on? And I was like
I don't want to incriminate myself.
I know, but the way he said it,
like I said,
no matter how you answer that, you snitching.
That was a narcissist kind of question.
You asked the question like a fan.
hey, I grew up with white people, but one thing I know is how to get a black guy in trouble.
But it's a great question. Yo, just give him the Happy Meal before you ask him to snitch, bro.
He said, damn, they wasn't even drinking.
Speaking of, how the hell you pronounce
Lechemindewa.
Okay.
It's the King's Path.
King's Path.
Chemin
Because I know Branson. That's the one I pronounce.
That's the Branson lifestyle. You're gonna be outside.
You're not worried that if you throw little and you don't throw out allegations, but like you kind of poke fun at them.
You just ask questions.
You're not worried that it comes back your way. Like people dig up your past and try to pull stuff up.
I don't have to in my past.
Everybody got a little bit.
I took
not that it's real enough.
I took a pill, but it was for me to perform better.
For her to remember, buddy. I didn't give her a drink so she.
This is why 50 Cent's warning carries real weight. It's not idle talk, it's rooted in visible connections that tie together past controversies, public silence, and carefully curated images into a fragile power structure. In his eyes, Hollywood's elite networks no longer command fear, and he has made it clear he plans to challenge them directly. The impact of his recent documentary didn't stop with a single individual. It sent shockwaves through anyone who shared spaces, deals, or private moments within that circle, from artists and executives to public figures far beyond entertainment. Once 50 hinted at more projects in the pipeline, the response was immediate: legal teams revisiting old matters, PR strategies shifting overnight, appearances cancelled, and digital footprints quietly scrubbed. While none of this proves wrongdoing, it has amplified public curiosity. Sudden silence and distance raise questions of their own, as the film exposed a long pattern of troubling behavior many sensed but ignored. And that leaves one unavoidable question echoing louder than ever: who noticed the signs, and who chose not to act?
Sean Combs' The Reckoning, the 50 Cent Diddy doc. First and foremost, we've been talking about this thing, Jack, for going on 2 years now, and once again, thank you for even being, I guess you could say, a beacon during this whole conversation, as far as kind of spreading light on a lot of things that go down in the industry that, you know, the normal person may not even see or hear about, that happens in the day-to-day. Did you really think 50 Cent, when he first mentioned it, that there was an actual documentary being worked on?
Well, see, this is the thing. I can believe that it was happening. At what purpose? See, and that's the thing. Like, my opinion about all of this stuff is so much different than your average person's, and my outlook is so much different than your average person's. Did I believe that it was possible? Absolutely. Why wouldn't he be able to do a documentary? Why wouldn't he be able to bring in Alexandria to come and put this together? Like, the woman who directed this, she doesn't even seem to have a background in hip hop at all.
That makes sense.
So it's like, yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting. I mean, for crying out loud, Diddy sent him freak off videos.
True. Very true.
Interviews
very true.
about it.
Did you feel that just 50 Cent's name being attached to it again? These are two, as everyone knows, the three names in hip hop are Jay-Z, Diddy, 50 Cent, when it comes to the status of where you could get as a business or a brand.
I guess so.
So for the top three individuals, for one to go at the other and release this doc, I don't know, what does that say to again, I keep asking about the hip hop state of things. What does that say to hip hop? Like, are we our own downfall? I guess I don't know.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It all depends on what you consider hip hop. Like, I don't consider any of this debauchery, any of this animalistic crap. I don't consider any of this hip hop. I grew up in hip hop. You know, I know what hip hop culture is, and it's none of this stuff that people are selling.
I mean, when did it stop being hip hop? We're going to go through the documentary itself, but when did it stop?
It stopped being hip hop when it became corporatized. It stopped being hip hop when certain groups of people saw that they could use it to influence the mass public. When people saw how influential hip hop was, it became very clear. Once upon a time, not long ago, where people wore pajamas and lived life still, you know, the laws were stern and justice stood, and people were behaving like they ought to good. There lived a little boy, and he was misled by another little boy, and this is what he said: "Me and you, kid, we go make some cash, robbing old folks and making a dash."
Come on.
Like, they did the job, and money came with ease, but one couldn't stop us like he had a disease. He robbed another and another, and a sister and a brother. Tried to rob a man who was a detective.
Jay-Z attends exclusive gatherings. Beyoncé appears at influential events. Oprah has praised figures now under scrutiny. None of this suggests wrongdoing, but it places their names squarely in the conversation, drawing intense attention. That's why 50 Cent's warning carries weight when he says this is just the beginning. Unlike others, he doesn't rely on access or alliances. He's built his influence through independence, owning his media, businesses, and voice. That freedom allows him to speak openly, confront untouchable figures, and release work that shakes an industry built on silence. Backed by evidence and records, 50 Cent is a genuine threat in a system that thrives on quiet compliance.
A bunch of people in the studio, me and him got into it that night. And we started snapping and joking and talking to each other. When he said about Danny Kane, he said, they gonna keep on messing with me. Or he said the word effing with me. They gonna keep on effing with me, and I'm gonna when you hear people saying this, this is crazy. This is so crazy right now, because I heard him say it. But to know that he was doing it, it's a whole nother thing. It's a whole nother light right now, bro. He said it. I'ma drug them out and pimp them out to my they keep with me. And he was talking about Danny Kane as a group. He didn't single out any one of them. But to hear that he did it, that's just crazy to me. We had a big argument and we started talking about each other and what had and what he didn't have. He was calling me, yo, you broke cop. This like, you ain't got nothing I ain't got. I got a watch, you got a watch. I got a ring, you got a ring, got a chain, I got a home. We went through that whole like that. We start talking about his teeth. You understand? I start talking about, him, his breath, everything. We was going at each other. That next day at his house, he said, yo, Gene, he called me upstairs and he said, yo, Gene, I couldn't talk to him like that no more in front of people and everything like that. Cause I know me and Puff go back from the same game since 89, 90 when he got jumped in it. You understand? We go back way to that time. So I knew him. You understand? He was like a little nephew. So when he started talking to him, I said, yo, listen here, bro. You don't say shit about me, I won't say shit about you. If you say something, you open up your mouth about me, I'm going to talk about all your green dentures and all that like that. We're not playing them games, bro. You say, all right, Gene, cool. You understand? People don't understand, bro. The love and the power I had, not only in Harlem, Queens, I had dudes all over New York City, from the Bronx, everybody that had mad love for me because I looked out. You understand? I made sure, that people needed knowledge and information on certain things. They had a lot of people that was on parole that was in the music business. I used to save guys by letting them know their rights and what the people could and couldn't do to them. So I had a lot of genuine love from a lot of dudes. You don't be around a K. Slay for over 20-something years, a Chaz Williams over 20-something years, and be some kind of sucker and was right next to him, doing all their functions, all their situations and everything like that, running security for them, making sure that people were safe in the whole 9 yards. You understand? I had my man Pete, I had people calling me, yo, look out for Nate Dogg when he come to New York. Look out for Mac 10, look out for Exhibit, doing stuff like that, Good Brothers and everything like that. So what I'm trying to say to you is that, bro, is that to be at that type of status and be that type of person and do the things that I did, you understand? I had to have people who were.
The biggest question now is what the unreleased footage actually reveals. While 50 Cent hasn't disclosed specifics, speculation points to elite Hollywood settings, private gatherings, and behind-the-scenes moments never intended for public eyes. It's not about showing Jay-Z or Beyoncé committing any wrongdoing, but rather highlighting what influential figures knew, or chose to ignore. In the court of public opinion, awareness can be just as powerful as action. The material could expose how protected networks relied on influence, loyalty, and silence to shield reputations, an impact that unsettles even more than direct accusations. This is why 50 Cent appears so confident. He knows the moment is ripe, and the next release could fundamentally reshape how Hollywood power is perceived.
Has been working on this documentary for almost 2 years. The footage he has is insane. The people he got speaking about Diddy is ridiculous. And on top of that, the only place he agrees to do the interview, Rob, if you can show this, he goes and interviews with ABC. And there's an Instagram post he put up, Rob. I don't know if you have that or not. If you go on his Instagram account, he goes and does the interview about Diddy's documentary on ABC. And they say the reason why he did it on ABC, it's that one right there, Rob, the one you had it on, is because ABC news station is one of only few stations they're allowed to watch in prison. With that smile. So he wants Diddy to know the world is watching.
Social media exploded when 50 Cent warned Jay-Z and Beyoncé to stay alert, sparking mixed reactions. Some accusing him of overstepping, others saying he voiced what many have long suspected. The debate quickly expanded to criticism of an entertainment industry often seen as protecting a small circle of powerful figures, including Oprah, Jay-Z, Beyoncé, Diddy, and Tyler Perry. 50's independence allows him to confront that structure openly, which is why old stories have resurfaced with renewed significance. Exclusive gatherings, unspoken alliances, stalled careers, underpaid creatives, and dismissed voices. By connecting these scattered accounts, 50 Cent is driving a broader conversation about influence, silence, and control, compelling the public to reconsider how power has operated behind the scenes for decades.
Not only did he not pay the cameraman, he didn't even tell his own lawyers. Plus this latest from 50 Cent and Diddy's own mom. Boo, you gotta watch this one. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signor. As all of us around the world realize that the footage from the Netflix special, Diddy, The Reckoning, or The Reckoning, Sean Combs, that footage of Sean came out because he didn't pay the cameraman. Well, it gets even worse. It gets even worse. Backstabbed on camera, Netflix's Diddy documentary reveals Mogul secretly taped his defense attorney during case meltdown. He did not tell Agnifilo. Now, I don't know how that works. Let's watch it, because in this moment, you can kind of see.
Many say the timing couldn't be more precise. The recent case is still unfolding, public attention is heightened, and those who previously felt unheard are now speaking up. Media outlets are finally questioning figures once considered untouchable, creating the ideal moment for 50 Cent to make his move. At this stage, whether Jay-Z or Beyoncé did anything wrong isn't the central issue. What matters is their position within a larger system. Audiences take 50 seriously when he references footage, and his warning, "You're next," resonated across the internet. Fans immediately connected it to Jay-Z, Beyoncé, and Oprah, figures linked by shared circles, long-standing influence, and decisions long scrutinized by critics. With new material reportedly in his possession, 50 appears ready to expose another layer of industry secrecy, a rare move in a world where most choose silence over risk. He has already shaken the system once, and now he's signaling a follow-up, making it clear that whether the revelations involve awareness, silence, or behind-the-scenes dynamics, the spotlight is brighter than ever, and the stakes have never been higher.
The documentary produced by 50 Cent shows Combs capturing confidential exchanges with his attorney, Mark Agnifilo, who, according to those familiar with the situation, had no idea he was being filmed or recorded. Revelation has ignited a firestorm within the legal community and raised questions about Combs' conduct during one of the most sensitive periods of his legal battle. Is anyone surprised, though? Come on. Netflix documentary featured material shot by the videographer Diddy hired to chronicle his life during what he described as a turbulent time. In the clips, Combs appeared frustrated and angry with Agnifilo and the entire defense team as they discuss his impending arrest. He is heard accusing his lawyers of losing control of the case and mishandling key aspects of his legal defense. Well, I mean, you're guilty on a lot of it, so it was kind of hard for them. They did, I would say, damn good job given the circumstances. Sources close to Agnifilo say he was unaware Diddy had commissioned someone to record the phone calls, much less their private strategy sessions. The inclusion of this footage in a publicly released documentary now places Agnifilo in an uncomfortable and unprecedented position with conversations that should have remained protected.
The timing couldn't be more precise. The case is still unfolding, public attention is focused, and those who once felt unheard are now speaking up. Media outlets are questioning figures long considered untouchable, creating the perfect moment for 50 Cent to step in. Whether Jay-Z or Beyoncé did anything wrong isn't the main issue. What matters is their position within a larger system. His warning, "You're next," spread rapidly across the internet, with fans immediately linking it to Jay-Z, Beyoncé, and Oprah. With new material reportedly in his hands, 50 is poised to reveal another layer of industry secrecy. Having already shaken the system once, he now brings the spotlight back, brighter than ever, with stakes higher than ever before.